Oh, hey, what's up guys? My name's Trevor and I'm the Gaming Goomba. Don't mind me, I'm just eating some of my leftover disappointment from last week when I tried to make an unrealistic E3 prediction video. You know, I was thinking, making unrealistic predictions about E3 is what makes the build-up to it so much fun. Sometimes we just have to let our imaginations run wild, even if it means we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. So, this week I'm going to be giving you my unrealistic predictions for Nintendo's E3. But, where do I start? Oh. I guess that works. At this point, asking for a new F-Zero game is just as big of a meme as asking for a localization of Mother 3 is.
Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3! How about this instead?
While I feel like a lot of Nintendo fans my age only know about and ask for an F-Zero game because of Captain Falcon and Super Smash Bros., my favorite racing game growing up was F-Zero X for the Nintendo 64. There was just something about going from the low-scale tracks of Mario Kart 64 to flying hundreds of feet into the air and plummeting back down to the track in F-Zero X. The last time we saw an F-Zero game released on a console was F-Zero GX on the GameCube in 2003, and the last time we got any kind of F-Zero game was F-Zero Climax on the Game Boy Advance in 2004, but that was only released in Japan. I understand it's not a blockbuster franchise like Mario or Zelda, but I'll buy it, so that's one sale guaranteed for you, Nintendo. My next unrealistic prediction isn't really unrealistic for the future in general, but it's unrealistic for this year's E3, and that's a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey is my absolute favorite game on the Switch, and probably my favorite game of this decade, and I want more of it. At every Nintendo Direct, I pray to the Nintendo gods for an announcement of a Super Mario Odyssey DLC pack with new kingdoms, but it never happened. Almost all of the first-party releases on the Nintendo Switch has gotten some sort of DLC released for it. Hell, even Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, a port of a Wii U game, has gotten new DLC released for it on the Switch pretty recently. And all Super Mario Odyssey has gotten is Luigi's Balloon World and a couple of costumes. I believe the likely reason for a lack of DLC is because they want to put all of their efforts into a sequel. The amount of time between Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 was 3 years. We are coming up on 2 years since Super Mario Odyssey's release, and I believe it would be realistic to hope for an announcement of a sequel at this year's E3. But do you want to know why it's not realistic? Because it's something that I really want. And Nintendo's just not allowed to give me things that I really want. Piggybacking off of my last unrealistic prediction, this next one is something I have wanted for many years. Some of the games I have the most fond memories of are Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. I know a lot of people have been hoping for a third game in the series, but with Super Mario Odyssey already in existence, I doubt that would happen. But with Nintendo hopping on the HD remake train in the last couple of years, I would love to see Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 remastered in a combo pack for the Nintendo Switch. Both of these games were released on a non-HD console and still managed to look downright beautiful, and I feel like the controls would be really easy to integrate into the Joy-Con. I honestly can't see why they wouldn't do this. Oh, it's right, because I want it. A couple weeks ago, Mike Tyson sent out a tweet expressing his anger that Nintendo was making a new Punch-Out game without him in it. For a few seconds there, I got really excited because I thought Mike Tyson just leaked the new Punch-Out game. But then I realized Mike Tyson's just not very bright and was talking about the release of the original game featuring Mr. Dream on the Nintendo Switch NES app. Punch-Out did have a new game come out on the Wii in 2009 and it was awesome. Seeing a bunch of the classic Punch-Out characters reimagined for the modern day was sweet, and the game was actually really fun. And this month actually marks the 10th anniversary of that game. While I doubt Nintendo could get away with releasing a full $60 Punch-Out game, I will continue hoping for a smaller eShop only Punch-Out game to be announced for the Nintendo Switch. Now, is this really an unrealistic Nintendo E3 predictions video if I don't talk about Star Fox? Another one of my favorite games growing up was Star Fox 64, so when a new game was announced for the series that was going to be similar to Star Fox 64, I was pumped. Star Fox Zero was released in 2015 and was initially panned by critics, and in the end sold less than 1 million units globally. However, I enjoyed the crap out of this game. Other than the graphics not being as polished as I had hoped, it was awesome. After all these years, we finally got a real Star Fox game, which is why I was confused when I finished the game and saw what everyone else was saying about it. You guys were seriously complaining about a new Star Fox game being too similar to Star Fox 64? That's exactly what we wanted! What did you guys want? A Star Fox Adventures 2 or something? Oh. That's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. If you are interested in tuning into one of my live streams, I do plan on live streaming this Friday. I am not exactly sure what time it will be, so if you'd like to tune in, turn those notifications on so you can be notified when I go live. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.